Another hot inflation report. The Strait with a second blockade. Who cares? What's going on, everyone? Jeremy Ritz here. Courage pays better than fear trading. Happy Tuesday. Happy sunny Tuesday out there. It is going to be close to 90 degrees in my neck of the woods here. The sun is shining and inflation is shining too. We just got another inflation report here this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, the Producer Price Index, otherwise known as PPI. And while it did come in below expectations, we had month over month expected to come in at 1.1%. It actually came in at 0.5%. And then year over year, it was expected to come in at 4.6%. It came in lower at 4%. But both of those readings are high. Inflation is rising. We know that because of what is transpiring with the conflict. We've talked about that ad nauseum. But the markets don't seem to really care. And I talked about that yesterday. That was the title of the Driven episode. The bulls don't care. And it was a ripper of a day yesterday. And we have since come off the pre-market highs here this morning because on the S&P futures, we were up about 20 points before that report hit. And we have since come down slightly, but I would not be surprised if we continue to push higher. That was a very, very strong candle that came in on the SPY. My SPX chart was jacked up yesterday. It wasn't showing. I don't know if that's happening to any of you on TradingView, but even this morning it's all messed up. But anyway, big move across the board, across the broader markets. Bitcoin was taken off yesterday. And you have to wonder at this point that the market knows what the worst case scenario is for this conflict, and it has been priced in. Now, I think it's a bit premature to say that, but you have to take that into consideration. But the other component to look at here as to why we are pumping and pushing higher, it is earnings. We had a solid day of earnings yesterday. More banks reported today. We're gonna have more banks report throughout the week. But it has been solid financials, solid numbers, solid forward guidance. And anytime you have strong earnings, that is a tailwind for the market. So that's potentially a reason why we are seeing things press. Now, we still have major earnings to come. We're going to start getting some insight into AI. We're going to get ASML reporting tomorrow morning related to chip fabrication. Then we're going to get Taiwan Semiconductors. That's going to be huge. And then it's the big one coming on Thursday at market close. Yes, I've been talking about it for a while. I'm actually going to be recording that preview video here later today. It is Netflix earnings, ticker symbol NFLX. Yes, it's going to be awesome. And that one is sitting in a very, very interesting space right below that 200. If it gets above that 200, it is going to rip. I'm going to talk about all of that in the video I put together today, so be on the lookout for that one. That will be released. But again, there's just a lot of tailwinds that are coming into play, and it seems, at least for right now, the dip that we had across the board off of the conflict was enough to satisfy your big time investors, your big time money, that they feel comfortable with stepping back into the markets and going risk on, right? Everything corrected over 10%, except for the SPX. And yesterday, with the negative news of talks breaking down between Iran and the United States, with the negative news that the US would be blockading the Strait as well, the market shrugged it off. And yes, they did gap down on S&P futures. We saw S&P futures down about 80 points at one point, but the bulls were so strong and resilient that they bought it up and they blasted it higher, and they went on to finish the day up significantly. So think about that for a second. Think about the sentiment there. The sentiment being news that typically would smash the market lower that we've been grinding down on, really gapping down on here over the last month, the market went up on it. So what does that tell you about the sentiment? Pay attention to those little things like that where, hey, we should be moving down, we're probably heading lower, and the market goes higher. Pay attention. There's something to be gleaned from that type of response. So we'll see. We have a lot to go next week. I believe it's next week, or if not next week, the week after. We're going to get the next Fed meeting, Fed rate decision, the Powell presser. I will be live streaming that. I don't have that link up yet on my channel, but that will be available to you guys. But that's another catalyst that we need to pay attention to. But also, next week is the deadline, the April 22nd deadline for a deal to be completed between the United States and Iran. So we need to make sure that is marked on our calendars and we are ready for whatever comes out on that date, whether it's a delay, an extension to work out the deal, whether it's a resumption of attacks, who knows? But that will be something that we want to monitor very closely. Again, that's April 22nd, which also happens to be Tesla earnings, right? So we are getting in the thick of it, ladies and gentlemen. Earnings season kicking off. And again, if you just go look at the earnings from this winter, January into February, solid reports, but the moves were weak. The correction might have been enough to reset the values to where we could see some strong moves coming out of these reports. So to put it all together, to package it up, if we summarize this, the bulls just don't care right now. They're buying this thing up. And again, the market typically prices things out in the future 6, 8, 12 months. So maybe they have priced in the worst case scenario. And you can't argue with price action and where things are. And as of right now, that's what we are seeing. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you have a phenomenal Tuesday. I'm going to be doing a live class next Monday and Tuesday. If you want to learn how to move past your fear and take your first trade, please join me April 21st, April 22nd, 8:30 p.m. The link is down below in the description of this video. Would love to have you there with me. Lots of great content coming here on the site. Check out the Netflix earnings video, which is coming soon. And just some quick shout outs to the Courage community. Pam, Ashraf, Paulo, Ben. Man, I don't want to forget anybody. Paul L, Zoe, Wade, all you guys. I'm sure if I'm leaving someone out here, don't feel slighted. I'm trying to remember all you guys, but thanks for being amazing. Such a great group that we have. Go crush it out there today, and I'll see you back here on the next episode of Driven. And in the meantime, in between time, make it a great day, honor the moment, and most importantly, everyone, be grateful. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon.